very disturbed about the militaristic posture of our nation. And I think until we have a radical reordering of priorities in our country, we are going more and more to the depths and, I should say, to the doom that follows arrogance of power.
I want the elder to stop leaving houses to men in the family. That's the generational curse I want to see broken. Because for some reason, the house is left to the man and they don't pay the property taxes. A paid off house is left to the man. And then a responsible woman, sister, cousin, auntie has to make sure the house stays in the family that this grown ass man lives in for free.
Black men commit a disproportionate amount of violent crime in the United States representative to their population in America. They're 8% of the population, but they commit somewhere between 40 to 60% of the crime, right? The violent crime.
Black Americans are 13% of the population. They commit 55% of the violent crime. But why is that?
We love blaming the white man for everything that happens to us, except when it comes to the control of planting our seed, gentlemen. We cannot be, as men, the leaders in single household creation and then wonder why we have wealth stagnation. Because if you're not in the house with your kids, if you don't have the common sense to commit to one woman, which all y'all black men complaining about, oh, women ain't out here, women ain't this and that. But gentlemen, there's 7 women to every 1 man.
This the shit I'm talking about. This is comical. So Gabrielle Union says weak black men use the 2024 election to get revenge on strong black women because they resent them. This the shit we gotta deal with.
But look at the hypocrisy, right? They're mad at her for saying someone was corny in high school that she didn't even say, and then proceed to say things 1,000 times worse than what she said.
10,000 times worse. Yeah. It's crazy.
That doesn't even make sense. And you didn't even say it, and no one has ever said, hey, our bad. We went back and heard the audio.
And, you know, we know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
Corny kid, right?
No, I did not say that. Misquoted for sure. No, you did not hear me say I said we used to make fun of the name. But yeah, he is obviously killing things out here.
Yeah, so that corny comment comes from a 2021 episode of the Undressing Room podcast, where L'Oreal, her co-host Eva Marcille, and Dominique DeDiva talked about the actor.
I think that Michael B. Jordan is just like a nice, corny guy. And I don't mean that as a slight, right? I mean, we all know that the nice, corny guys treat you the best.
To be fair, it was actually Eva who called Michael corny, but L'Oreal did admit that in high school she used to make fun of him.
To be honest with you, we teased him all the damn time because his name was Michael Jordan. Let's start there. And he was no Michael Jordan. And then he also would come to school with headshot. We lived in Newark.
Yeah.
Like that's the hood. You know what I mean? So we would make fun of him, like, what you gonna do with your little stupid headshots? Like, and now look at him.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a regular Tuesday for black men. When you hear people bring up the stats that black people are 13% of the population but consist of 55% of the crimes, that's a stat that fits a narrative that people love to kick around. But what they don't like to do is get specific about the stats, which is not necessarily what this video is about. But if you look at the stat that they're referring to total arrests. It has become standard modern American discourse to fixate on the 51.2% and 52.7% of arrests made of black people and mostly black men for certain crimes, yet overlook the almost 70% and 62% of arrests made for other crimes. What is also strategically left out of the discourse with black men in crime is that black people, mostly black men, are 7.5 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of a violent crime, and that, of course, begins with an arrest, than white people are.
Black men commit a disproportionate amount of violent crime in the United States representative to their population in America. They're 8% of the population, but they commit somewhere between 40 to 60% of the crime.
If you go back and see my life, boy, I made it. Believe me on that. If you save my life, Trey, I'm good. Everything I got now, boy, I ain't even pray for this. That's the real reason why, I don't really be tripping. I come from the worst of the worst. I slept in the car. I'm good. I'm just keeping it real with you, bro. I don't even want my crib to be this big. I pick a 2-story crib. Man, we done came so far. I ain't asking for nothing else. As long as I give me a championship, Trey, I ain't asking for nothing else. I'm out of everybody's way.
If you follow the NBA, you know that there's something very special about Anthony Edwards. It's not just his game that's special, but there's an aura around him. Something special about the presence that he brings to every room that he's in. And more specifically, his smile that mimics the smile of another NBA great that did the same. Some will call it blasphemy, but the energies are undeniably similar. When you see someone like Anthony Edwards so humble and yet has such a radiant personality that gravitates people to him.
Oh, you want some of this?
I seen what's going on with your jump shot.
Remember you tell me you're the truth.
Yeah.
We're gonna see right now.
Ray Charles can see this.
People like Charlie Kirk or Myron Gaines can't understand the kind of crucible that a young Anthony Edwards grew up in, where one night at the wrong house party, one night hanging out with the wrong friend, one night just being at the wrong place at the wrong time can get him arrested. And that could end his NBA dreams.
I was making jump shots
before I was born. I already know.
Before you were even thought of.
Without the right lawyer, without being in the right situation or having the right person looking over his shoulder, that's it. And his dream of being an NBA player or anything else is vanquished. Something that is a very real reality for black men.
Oh, I told you I'm the truth.
Even when I was your age, I could do that.
And what you see when Anthony Edwards meets President Barack Obama is not that Anthony Edwards is in awe of President Obama, but that President Obama is in awe of Anthony Edwards.
I remember you tell me you're the truth.
Y'all better stand down. I'm the truth.
We're gonna see right now.
Ray Charles can see this.
I'm not sure you got the range here. That's money. Oh, come on.
Left hand. I'm gonna crank it up now, though.
You're not the only one who can crank things up. What do you call somebody who doesn't mind losing?
I don't know what you call him.
A loser.
Obviously, when I speak of President Barack Obama being in awe of Anthony Edwards, I'm not speaking of academic achievement or political aspiration or things of that nature, diplomacy or whatnot. I'm speaking of the fact that, well, one, there's a kinship between the two of them, as if he can understand what it's like to have a son. And the other part is, I think he's simply in awe of the fact that someone that came from a very difficult situation can be so positive.
I got a hypothetical for you. What's up, my brother?
Next will be...
How are you, man? I'm good, brother. Good? Yes, sir. Good to see you. You look good. Yeah, yes, sir. Brother. Yes, sir. No, bro. Keep going, bro.
I ain't got no choice.
Keep going, bro.
I ain't got no choice.
Keep going, bro.
I ain't got no choice.
Martin Luther King taught black people how to stand up as a group. Muhammad Ali, he taught us how to stand up by yourself. All life is about reaching in to find out where you are, who you are, so that you can deal with all the stuff that life has to run at you. And if you do that, you need a Martin Luther King and you need Ali.
In my time on this earth as an African-American, ADOS, FBA black man, I cannot help but notice the consistent trend of a desire to pigeonhole black men as something that's just negative as a whole. It comes from many directions, from people like Charlie Kirk. It comes from people that look like us from other countries, like maybe a Myron Gaines. Sometimes it comes from women. It comes from movies, media, but it's consistent. There's something wrong with black men, and we need to suppress something about them because there's something innately wrong with them. But then you get a better understanding not just of who we are, but how others see us, and then you can start seeing that there's something more to that. Think of two men that are extremely different, like, say, Muhammad Ali and Martin Luther King speaking together. There's an innate kinship there because both of them understand this desire to pigeonhole the black male experience, and people simply not understanding that we are a very different, special, varied people that share a kinship, but we don't share a shared fate.
What did you discuss back in the hotel room? Nothing, just friends, just like Crucible and Kennedy and everybody. When the people, all of the politicians of all other white races come together, and they, although they believe different, they think different, whites can come together and discuss the common cause. But whenever a few of us come together, the world is shook up. And I say, whatever went back there is our business.
Reverend King, do you agree?
Oh, yes, yes. We had a very good discussion on many matters. And, of course, these are not things that we would discuss here, but we do have common problems and common concerns. And above all, as Muhammad Ali has just said, we are all victims of the same system of oppression. And even though we may have different religious beliefs, this does not at all bring about a difference in terms of our concern.
Still brothers.
Do you share the same, one more question, do you share the same concern that Muhammad has for his draft status?
Oh, I certainly do. My views on the draft are very clear. I'm against it. And I think the sooner our country does away with the draft, the better it will be for everybody. I'm very disturbed about the militaristic posture of our nation. And I think until we have a radical reordering of priorities in our country, we are going more and more to the depths and, I should say, to the doom that follows arrogance of power, as Senator Fulbright said.
An argument can be made that what Martin Luther King said in this March 30th, 1967 video, almost 60 years previous to today, still applies to our modern situation, but I'll let the people that do geopolitics deal with that. But he's speaking as a black man who comes from the pressure cooker, the crucible of America, and he unfortunately dealt with that crucible not very long after making this video. But there's a unique understanding that black men in America come up with, because if you make one slip up, one wrong move, you can end up in jail, and if you can't get the right lawyer, that's your life. And so in that crucible, black men have developed something special.
Your chain, your chain.
Yeah. And what is this special thing? It's a unique kind of swag. For some black men, it's a nerdy swag. For others, it's a cool swag. But it's a swag nonetheless. And it's something that for some people draws out an anger or a jealousy. But for others, it draws out a sense of awe. And trust and believe, one thing I have come to understand in my time overseas is that people overseas have never seen it before, and they know it's there.
I done came up, got my name up, so when they speak of who blinged up, I'm who they bring up.
All right, go. What is it? Appreciate that.
Come up dissing and you'll come up missing. I'm a cutthroat baller like O.J. Simpson.
I'm gonna let y'all know, I don't watch TV. I watch anime all day. Literally. I don't watch live television. So I don't know what excuse my language, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
Greatest of all time, cheat meal.
Oh, this is good.
This is tough too, because it depends on the city, doesn't it?
It does.
Where are we
when we get the cheat
when
meal?
that second Friday comes around?
Okay, I'm gonna do my cheat order. Need that chicken and broccoli pizza, pepperoni pizza, Prince Street, preferably.
Yeah.
He was no Michael Jordan.
Keep going, bro. I ain't got no choice.
Little homie, listen, try and serve me. I put a 25 in your back like Barry Bonds.
I know that black people were the first astronomers and mathematicians in this world. On my first mission, as a tribute to my heritage as a black person in this world, I flew a flag that was a combination of all the countries' flags of the continent of Africa. So I had this, and my hopes is that this summer I will, when I'm visiting Africa, that I will take it around to the different countries and display this. And why? Why? Because this is my heritage, and to say that acknowledge that I know that black people were the first astronomers and mathematicians in this world. And it seems only natural that one of their sons would come back from space and say, hey, look what we have accomplished together.
Girls love metaphor, and I love them back. Addicted to getting head, chicks call me the brainiac.
American women would never
pineapple? Yeah, they got full pineapple here.
Yeah. Can I do this pineapple? Getting paid for by a lady in Asia. American women would never. No, I'm just playing. Yo, cancel your ass. Such a lady. Thank you.
Keep going, bro.
Ain't got no choice.
What do we do when we get away from football? What do you do in your spare time?
I play video games. I got a Lego set going.
Ooh, what Lego set are you doing?
So right now I'm currently in Titanic still. So I've been in it since like the beginning of the season.
Okay. Are we working out?
Yes, we are.
I want to keep talking Legos. Isn't it a great way to just kind of get away from everything?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You forget, like the whole world just disappears and you're just focusing on getting these damn blocks connected.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
What's the best one you've done other than Titanic?
The Eiffel Tower. It's about 5 feet tall, long days, long hours putting into it.
I love black men. Love black men. Woo, child. You don't understand. I'll be driving around and I'll be seeing them and I'm like, damn, that's a fine black man. Woo.
First thing we're going to buy with this NFL money?
Definitely got spoiled with Granny. Buy her a nice little house in Chicago so that I can go back home and call Chicago my home.
Yeah, cool, man. I
thought you were going to say another Lego set.
What's
What's the next Lego set after you finish the Titanic?
I don't know. Probably one of the Star Wars collecting.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. Get the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Okay, I gotta check that one out.
You guys are nerds.
Keep going, bro.
Ain't got no choice.
So I don't want to hear no people, especially from African descent, sitting at home going, well, I ain't got nothing. Government ain't helped me. I can't get a job. You sitting there, you black? Go get you a black man, and if you're a female, and get a big black gorilla-looking guy and have a baby. And start training them. You know what I mean? You got half the battle already won. I used to see, when you guys are playing youth football, a lot of athletes half black, half white. And I always look for the mom and dad. They're always massive, you know? But now, I'm telling you, white girls, y'all better be careful because the new white girls are Mexican girl. The Mexican girl took all the brothers now. Because now I go to them little shows, I see a lot of Hispanic, half black. You know, dark skin, but Gonzalez.
What's the question that they ask you most about how you got 3 kids to go D1 and 2 in the NFL?
They want to know, in general, how I did it. I believe in breeding. Look at you. Good athlete. I'm black, mom's white. Now, I don't step on it once. You can't keep stepping on it because you're going to mess it up. You're going to weaken it.
You can't keep cutting it?
Can't keep cutting it. No. No, you in Brooklyn, because Brooklyn's half, you got a chance.
If I cut it one more time, it's over?
You can't keep cutting it. You got to be careful. You can't keep cutting it. You got to think about that. You know what I mean? No.
I like how he's dead ass.
If I'm black, I got the black gold running through my veins. Oh, I'm excited. I'm just going to find the right person to mate with. Right? And if I'm white, I'm saying, let me get one of these brothers around here. If you want to have athletes. If you don't want to have athletes, then just go ahead and just spread your seed wherever.
So why'd you cut it once with us? Because he could.
I know I can cut it once.
Because he's gold.
I got that black gold in me. And Mama got that big chin and big toes. I said, look, ain't nothing wrong with big toe woman.
Big chin. Who says a big chin?
You can hear the level of jest in what John Brown is saying, but he's saying it with truth. I mean, he's got 3 sons in the NFL. So he's joking, but he's not joking. But the truth of the matter is, as important as what he's saying is, his wife chose to have those 3 kids with him. She saw something in him that was valuable. She wanted. And here they are, 25 years later, celebrating 3 healthy sons that are excelling in sports. Am I saying that black men are going to go overseas and have a lot of children that are going to play sports? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that there is something valuable about black men that is not reinforced in the discourse that we hear every day, yet people still see in us. John Brown refers to it as black gold. Maybe we can adopt that ourselves, but the truth is, when many of us go overseas, we have a newfound value that we don't really realize back home because, well, many people are finding ways to tell us how terrible we are, how we're the reason why there's so much crime everywhere, why America would be such a better place if we weren't there. But there we are, going different places and people seeing the value in us that comes from growing up in a crucible where one mistake, one wrong turn, one bad night can get you arrested. And that arrest is more likely, actually 7.5 times more likely, to end up with you, even if you've done nothing at all, of having your dreams and aspirations ended. The awe that President Obama sees in a young Anthony Edwards is the ability to have a positive aspirational attitude in the midst of that crucible where one mistake can end your NBA aspirations. But it's also an awe that many other young ladies see in men that build Legos when they're not playing NFL football or watching anime. It's the swag of an Oscar-winning movie director that's making gourmet coffee for his staff members. Or it's even one of those staff members, one that was called corny, going back to the In-N-Out Burger where he couldn't get a job to celebrate winning his first Oscar. We are a unique, varied group of individuals, we black men. We are often demonized, and we're often demonized with an agenda. But many people overseas see something more than that in us. They see a sort of black gold, a value that can't be taken away from us unless we can't see it in ourselves. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Catch you next video. Take care, guys.